the game is going to make their early mid game a lot easier, and I think Dusa lineups are...
I really hope we will, because these two teams seem very evenly matched, and they are very entertaining to watch. Made even more entertaining by a commentary duo of OD Pixel and VSJ.
Behold!
Thanks very much, Steve. Yes, game 2 of Nigma versus Liquid. And Brian, what sort of stands out to you first? What do you want to talk about? We're getting this very quickly picked Ursa from Liquid to end their draft. Are you sort of on board with that? Do you sort of look at this game and say it's a great bear game?
I wouldn't say it's a bad pick. I didn't see anything better, but I don't necessarily feel all that great about it, because last game, the counter to the Bloodseeker puck was that they kind of just stood still. Ursa, on the other hand, has to actually run around in the fight, and if they throw all their spells on him and force him to use his BKB and ultimate defensively, he's suddenly not nearly the and tanky hero that he's meant to be. I think Medusa makes their entire game plan very difficult. 4 of their 5 heroes have to be point-blank range in order to do any damage, and Medusa, I think, counters that as a whole. And they have to go on the Medusa eventually, and the rest of Nigma's lineup is just so good at what just forcing them off of the Medusa with the clockwork hooking into cogs, the Phoenix egg, puck. The battle begins. I really like Nigma's draft. I personally think it's a heavy out draft for Nigma. I'm not really sure how it's going to play out, because I don't play heroes like Medusa myself, but on paper, I would be scared to play Ursa in this game. But yet I see what they're going for. It's good against Bloodseeker in lane, it's good against the egg in the mid game. So I like what they're thinking, but I do think Nigma has the upper hand.
I mean, that's the thing as well, right? Is that this top lane, as you say, sure, the Bloodseeker's melee, Mikko's going to have that advantage being an Ursa against him, but you're against this Bloodseeker and the Phoenix, right? And this Phoenix isn't going to be too much fun for the Ursa to lane against.
Yeah, Ursa's just not the lane dominator he used to be. He usually comes online like level 3 or 4 when he gets a couple points up in all of his spells. And Bloodseeker is 6 base armor, really high base armor for an offlaner, traditionally speaking. So the threat of the Ursa physical damage early is not going to be nearly as high. And he also has decent sustain, and the Phoenix, like you said, the Fire Spirit can be super annoying, because Ursa might have to put a point or 2 up in the Overpower, which means he has less points in the Earth Shock for the slow. Yeah, I don't think this lane's nearly as bad for mind control as Kyle painted it to be.
Okay, and then meanwhile, sort of down on the bottom lane, are Liquid going to be able to put much pressure onto Miracle here as this Dusa, or are you able to farm pretty safely down here?
Yeah, I thought they were going to pick something like Ogre last pick for Nigma, but Clockwork does a similar job. His whole job is just say, get away from my Medusa, right? He's going to walk in front of you, threaten with the battery assault, and I don't think they can really do anything in Miracle. They're both melee. They have to go through a Clockwork. Kuroki's always going to position himself properly. Just look at him. He's just running at the Legion. Boxy's actually getting completely zoned as Miracle's just free farming down here. I really like the idea that Miracle has to solo carry this game. I think this hero is much more built than last game to do just that.
So yeah, Kuroki doing a great job of just running Boxy down, and probably going to have to make the move all the way back to his tower. Top lane Mikke looking for GH. He's going to have another shot this second. GH just hits level 2 and is able to dive back out to safety. Quite over there. I think this could be interesting. Oh, Miracle, he's still landed himself up underneath that tower here. Tiger do the best with the body block, but Kuro will come across, comes out onto 2 of them. So safely sit back and an abundance of mana. Rely on for a shield. And yeah, just gonna be interesting what Miracle builds on the Medusa. We did see a Medusa the other day. Went for 2 of the Falcon Blades. It's the S and Y. So that is definitely one way to play the hero in this match. See which way Miracle wants.
I'm curious if he does the same thing. The Falcon Blade seems really nice for the mana regen as well as the health. It's just so valuable on Medusa, but I don't know if you need 2 of them. So that's the only sample size I have thus far. But I'm not sold on it completely yet.
No, because other than that, what sort of overarch are you looking on Medusa? Is this another hero that you still feel happy getting a Maelstrom early on to just sort of speed up the game?
I I'm of the opinion he probably just needs to build to live.
Okay.
Just buy efficient stat items like a Manta and a Scotty.
Yep.
And basically just say, my team's going to do the rest of the damage for me. Bloodseeker Phoenix, I don't think damage is going to be an issue. I think it's more so that as long as Liquid can't kill him before all of his teammates' damage goes off, then he's good to go.
Dead target. Looking onto Weeha. Probably able to set up completely. Bottom. Boxy now with the levels level 3. Better job trading back with Kuro. Watch the moment of courage to go. Midlane Weeha is completely out of regen. 4-minute runes coming up. He's going to chance it for the bottom rune, and he's going to get very fortunate too. Gets the refill, and it's an arcane. Lovely power rune there for Weeha. On the side, only really that bottom lane where Boxy's a little behind sort of the top lane. Done pretty evenly. No one else really getting completely bullied down.
You will make a nice knowing.
I like the Taiga's move here. I think him going top is really good because he can't really help pressure the Dusa, and so in that case, just let Boxy be Boxy down here, and he's allowing the Ursa to get solo, like basically free farm up here because mind control to walk up.
Can you get away with buying Midas on Medusa nowadays, or is that just way too?
I think in some games you can. Yeah. Heavily damaged from the attack speed, and it just depends on how much you feel like you're going to get ran at in the game. And I think since Liquid has the idea of that here, you see Crystal Maiden. I feel like if you had to bang on one hero every game being first blood, high percentage-wise, it'd be a Crystal Maiden.
Might have a chance of getting Mickey as well, getting clipped by the edge of the glove right. Speed for Mike with Weeha and takes on down bottom Kuro. And there's two of them. Kuro and Miracle able to run down Boxy. Across the map here for Nigma. Again, the same sort of move that he was doing in that last game where he really was off to just a brilliant start with his early rotations on the puck. And we're seeing that yet again here. He's still getting aggressive top. He's about a creep away from getting level 6. Stadia very low. Trying to pop his damage ready, but Weeha's going to be able to finish it off. He set up Steph Muncher to get the kill with the front right. And now Weeha, he's level 6. So he's going to look to get even more out of this. Turns over towards Target. He's going to get another out of this. It really is, again, just the opening 8 minutes we saw, Weeha get an ultra kill in the last game. Already here at 6 minutes, 2-0-2. He got so much done there with that move up to top.
I think in this patch, it's really hard to play carry. I think it's really hard to be survivable as carry. I think if you ever manage to draft a carry, that I look at and say, I don't really know how he dies. I feel like it's a significant draft advantage, more so in this patch than normal. And I just look at this last pick Ursa, and what made me so hesitant about it was that I'm so scared of his... He can't, farm from 10 to 15 minutes. He's going to get ran at. He's constantly under threat. He's going to be very well super early game. And I don't feel like they can reciprocate that pressure onto this Medusa. I think the last pick was great. We saw it bottom. And exactly what it was meant to accomplish when Miracle got kicked under tower. But here, they're looking to make something happen. Liquid is not okay with the status quo of this game, and they are going to try to basically ensure this Ursa's safety top so that he can have some space to talk.
Yeah, out completely, so unlikely that Tiger is saying he can get the angle they want. Look who's chasing. Weeha's already moving back up here. 4 seconds to Dream Coil, no hesitation. As soon as the ult's up, Weeha's in position to put on pressure. Mickey has hit the 6. He's going to pop it early here to break the coil. Sure that he does Nigma from trying to dive in under the tower.
It's just so nice to play this here because usually as a carry you're quote-unquote AFK, right? But he's actually able to defend mid-tower. So that is super nice because he's frees up to do whatever wants on the map. And you see here, he's pressuring the Ursa while Medusa's just defending mid-tower and farming. You just have to compare the lives of these two carries, the two heroes that are meant to win the game for their team. Medusa's just chilling mid, Ursa's getting ran out by 3 heroes. And I think this is going to basically be the look of the game for the next 10 minutes, honestly. And by that point, I think the net worth lead, from the net worth differential between Miracle and Radiant will be too much to overcome for a hero like Ursa.
Where's the top? Tiger. The rest of Liquid, they sort of bailed out this top lane. Tiger tries to stick around to at least soak up the XP. But Nigma not going to let that happen. Another kill's found out that top lane. They know the top lane is going to be completely abandoned now from Liquid. Very surprised if you see them try and put any hero up here. Certainly issues to deal with elsewhere. Pressure already coming in mid. Because as you say, it's going to be very good timings this game. Let's have that S and Y queued up on the Brave fans. So not a foul from Blade Man. Just going for the standard S and Y. Good by abilities from the Tiger. He caught back to the left. I mean, I think they wouldn't come up here. Tiger decided to prove me wrong. Instantly TP's back and dies the second time.
I actually don't know how they win this game. I feel like it's already over. That's how I view it. And the beauty of this is I love how teams will do whatever they can to win the game. Like they're just gonna figure out some way. Like if we can win the game, what's the one iteration according to Doctor Strange here that results in our victory. And right now, it looks like Liquid is just gonna try to get their time. DK, I think, is going to be the backbone of their comeback here. Maybe that early bit of tower pressure, maybe catch them out with that early blink dagger. Because right now, Taiga's only level 4. Legion Commander doesn't really have a clear dual target. It's hard to get on top of the puck. Medusa's going to be playing super safe on the map. Phoenix, Clock, these are very hard heroes to duel. And Weehaw, you just feel so content on Weehaw here, running around the map.
Away, he'll make it. Something found, at least for Liquid, as Mickey gets the kill onto Weehaw. Diving on the mid, GH looking for Tiger.
Radiant's bottom tower be under attack. Dire's middle tower.
Straight back into the mid, trying to do his best. There's a little amount of pressure that Miracle can't put onto this tower, but Miracle from the back with the GH from Miracle. Doesn't seem to want to go anywhere. He's sticking around, raise up the tower. For the stun gates as well, to secure the last hit. They haven't put fortification up, so Nigma will have to retreat. At least they'll be able to hold and take that away from them if they want.
Radiant structures be fortified. Dire now.
It seems nice as the opponent mid laner, but you're supposed to be able to turn that into objectives for DK. But because of the pressure that Miracle's putting mid, he has to then use his Dragon Code to defend rather than doing the objectives of their own. And Mind Control, he might be in some trouble top. Tiger is level 6.
Dire's bottom tower be under attack.
Bottom tower be denied. It's taken away some of the potential goals that Nigma could have cleaned up. They've quite to hold them back. Flores having to start with a hook shot. They're going to pop the egg, make sure that they have enough damage to hit this, but they still might not actually have the number there. Foxy's able to come out with the heal, allow Koifa to step away out of the cogs.
Much appreciated.
Doesn't pull out. Minus 50 over stun, so managed to live. Miracle, though, was able to get that last hit on.
That's 4 heroes from Liquid to lose a tower. They're very happy with that result inside of Team Nigma. They don't care about the kill on DK. They just want the tower. Like, obviously, the kill on DK is icing on the cake, but all they wanted there was to finish off that mid tower so Miracle can kind of go farm wherever he wants. He kept farming mid in order to exert some pressure, and now he can choose to farm Ancients and be more efficient at taking that tower. Roki, no shot just yet.
Dire's top tower be under attack.
Can they try and fight this? They do have the jeweler, but it still seems very hard.
Dire's structures be fortified.
Being as strong as they are right now. Trying to pressure the mid tower. GH and Miracle.
Radiant's middle tower. Dire's top tower.
Straight in onto Koifa. Weeha's coming across. They're looking to chase. At the same time, top lane. Mind Control getting on, going on by Tiger and Insania. Dream Call locked down mid, they'll guarantee themselves the kill on Koifa. Mind Control still alive up top. He'll die to the 3 of them in the box to be able to walk in. Give himself another successful duel. Still, Nigma has also been found. He's coming in. Now the top tower. Quite Ursa. I think obviously one thing that Liquid's got to really do their best to control is their jungle. There are some lovely stacks there, and it'll be a huge shame if Miracle's able to walk in and take them for Nigma.
Yeah, it's just economic damage here. Miracle's like basically being escorted to his farm by the rest of his team. He's like, I'd like to farm the enemy triangle now, please. And they just 3-man gang squatted up, forcing the Ursa out. Seems like it may be inefficient to do that for some camps, but Ursa's not farming. So even though your GPM's technically lower on the Medusa than it would be if you were farming your side of the map, you're making the Ursa's GPM effectively 0, you know, other than the passive goal. He's forced to run away. He's not getting any camps at all for himself, and it's all percentage based. We'd rather have 100 to 0 than 200 to 100 net worth, right? Like, so it's going to keep paying off here. Miracle's got the SNY, really good against the duel as well as the stun from DK. Seems like a lot of carries are just prioritizing the Sonic Gotcha after the status resistance buff, as well as the only source of status resistance over the Manta.
It's just getting better.
Here. After they take that tier 1 tower, is their oyster. Team Nigma. They have the puck farming bottom, Miracle's farming jungle around mid, and the rest of the crew of them are kind of just poking and prodding the rest of Team Liquid to annoy them and cause them to basically always be on the back foot.
Up found in here, moving in with the smoke. TP's coming in for Liquid. Gonna do the best to try to Supernova's down. They've got a split Liquid. They're trying to get away from him. Held underneath the egg. He'll fall. They're also going to catch on the Zeta over to the side. Nigma, more kills. Now in position to start taking more of the potential farm away from Ursa as Miracle moves into the jungle.
For the twins.
His farm quite a step ahead that of Mickey. Big catch-up will occur now. You know, Mickey, he has at least got the battle theory complete. Still a long way to go to max it. Takes a bit of a fun back there. More kills from Miracle get involved in. Steps across, plays the life of Tiger. Rehart.
This will come
out
in
Foxy to the side, but no Coil quite back up yet, so have that immediate catch. But this is some early impression now. Well, 15 minutes in, you're stepping up with this Medusa to these tier 2s. Wait for comes up to the side. He's got to run. He's got to step right out of it. He's disrupted. Miracle's out of the move in. They're trying to make the guys and the Jules to lock down Miracle. Basically, at this stage, you don't have to damage to kill him. Mickey ends up dying inside the base. We have dives into it. Picks up another as Insania. It's also going to go down. As it just seems to be too much. 15 minutes in, 14-3, 7k lead. And Nigma's lineup, that they can just sort of go wherever they want with this Medusa. And it's hard to see what Liquid can do to stop this.
Yeah, Medusa, I think the Medusa pick was just too good. They had DK, Earth Spirit, Legion all the time in that draft. Like, all their damages, we have to go on.
Radiant's top
similar to
tower
last game
under
where
attack.
Nigma relied on going on them, and they just didn't have to move on side of Team Liquid in game 1. It's like the opposite here. Medusa just, you saw there, he gets dueled up, he's in the middle of everything, and Miracle's just like, okay, I was gonna be attacking you guys anyways, I guess I'll just keep attacking. The rest of his team is cleaning up in the back. Ursa had to use all of his like ultimate survivability tools just to live, which means he can't dish out the damage because he's no longer confident in terms of his own survivability. Hoikfa, like DK's not going to carry the game. You know, he tried his best to create some pressure early on. Nigma consistently was willing to bring 3 or 4 heroes, even just to slow him down. It doesn't necessarily mean you have to kill him, just stop him from creating pressure so that you can then Miracle's almost got a butterfly done. Ursa overpower, it used to not count attacks when you miss, but now it does. He's got the level 10, 15% evasion talent, plus the butterfly coming out for Miracle. Ursa aimed
Radiant structure.
Go for the jewel.
Radiant
Not going to win that jewel. Won't lose it even, does die after. So just more catches for Kura. I mean,
Radiant's
you know,
bottom tower under attack.
Easy setup and hasn't died at all. Bottom lane Hoikfa really trying to get some objective. Nigma coming, push him away.
Dire's
Keep
top
that tower
tower
alive
under
and
attack.
available for the deny if they want to. Viper Joyce on Couriers. Now, looking towards Mickey's farm after the battle period, trying to get this BKB. I mean, is there sort of any, like, how many items does Mickey need to be able to say, right, I can turn up to this fight as the Ursa and at least take someone down? Is the BKB going to be enough for Liquid to try and fight around Mickey and commit for some of the squishier kills, or
Radiant's courier
at this stage is still just completely
brutally murdered.
Every hero on Nigma can defend themselves. Well, I don't actually know.
Dire's structure has been
multiplied.
Dire's middle tower.
And I don't know if
taking
the game
fire.
will last long enough for him to get it. I know I sound like Mr. Doomsday, Doom here for the side of Liquid, but I think you have to be ahead of Dusa on
Dire's middle tower has
It
fallen.
just keeps getting better.
Flips. He's got a full item on Miracle ahead of the Ursa. And the thing about those ultimates that it feels so good when you know you're in this spot on Team Nigma, they're like efficiency ultimates to kill Quakefoot down there. It's like we only have to bring 2 or 3 heroes to kill you rather than 4 or 5 because we're casting our ultimates on. When you see people just willingly using their ultimates for kills like this, even just pressure like this, then you know you're in a really commanding spot. Because usually if you have your ultimate, you have to be afraid.
Bottom tower will be under attack.
Look at Mitchell's life. He's just getting
Radiant's
tied out of his own
tower down. Dire's top tower.
Threats while Medusa just forced the CM to TP.
Is it spring already?
I don't think this ever gets better. They're eventually going to take Roche on the side of Nigma when they feel like it's safe. They have no sense of urgency here. They don't have to rush. Now, once Medusa has 2 lives, I can't fathom the first one, how he loses that one. The second one is even.
Silence.
Girl, Forest Stadia. Easy tap. Steps outside the base. Rambling for heroes to get any sort of item up. 11k down, 19 for 3. Nigma hitting perfectly hard, and as you say, something that you felt, this is well, pretty much what you expected from seeing these drafts. This
So
sort of
much
pace, or
blood.
is this more severe than you expected, or less so?
I'm not going to act like I'm some oracle. I just have played Ursa in a similar situation where I didn't really know, unless I had a really good start, how the game would, like, how I would be able to play the game. So when I see these drafts, I just thought their timing was really fragile. So if they didn't hit it, it was going to be a nightmare. That's kind of how I thought about it. And since they were able to get a couple kills on Ursa early, they really slowed down that Battle Fury timing. Medusa got all the space in the world, and now I feel like the script
Dire's
has
top
already
tower
written
will be
itself.
under attack.
And here's the Roche coming out. I didn't even mention, Kyle mentioned it during the draft, but he down has the blood rage off as well.
Not a bad start at all for a fight. They can keep this going on for 4. Successful duel from Boxy. Boxy, but it's trying to touch the ancient. I managed to do so. Stop playing up. Start playing around with Tiger. The coil to be dropped. Take the kill. Around, it's not necessary to win a fight, to have the ult.
Nice.
Still get the space. Despite the effort from Boxy, Tiger to push him away from the pit. Get back in. Does that. Good. Of course, looking at the goal, just a step closer to what is going to be one of the fastest guardians after butterfly. Fastest butterfly timing from Medusa on this patch from Miracle. The rest of the items are going to continue to fly out at a very
He's wrapping up his build with the Daedalus. If he does get that far, he basically says, I'm unkillable, now I kill all of you. The natural progression for heroes like Medusa, stat yourself up, and then make yourself unignorable.
take away that old Nigmas, but as soon as they come forward, it's an easy kill. Tries to hold back Miracle with the Dragon Tail's done, but now he's got himself open to be ruptured. Tanky's trying to run, but we are locks him down, forces out the BKB. Poifer will at least keep his life intact. Without a BKB and down for it. Trying to stand his ground. Wants the play down and the duel from Nura. He'll be happy to take the +20 on this.
I'll kill you again.
Dire's top tower.
Yeah, I feel like
be
this is
under
hunting
attack.
season, and Liquid are just a bunch of deer running around the map,
Dire's
trying to
top
just
tower
have some,
has fallen.
eat some grass or something, you know? They're just trying to live their lives while having their way with this is just slaughter, man. I don't know, really.
Dire's top tower be under attack.
We sort of saw in game 1.
Dire's structure
Liquid
be
spiral out of
fortified.
control in the second half.
now.
This has just been Nigma spiraling out of control pretty much from minute
Dire's
1.
top tower be under
This
attack.
game, I mean, those first 3 moves, G high up the top, crushing the lane of Mickey, just really sort of set the gears in motion, and Liquid just haven't been able to put a stop to it at all. 25 minutes in,
top
they have
tower
this miracle Medusa knocking at their face,
Radiant's
Eston White,
bottom
Butterfly,
tower be
Skadi,
under attack.
and Aegis. Just an incredible amount of strength that they have to sit behind here, Nigma. Liquid, they can't even get around to the backlines there. So maybe we'll get an angle here with the smoke. Tool out on the for the ult. And now GH whips across, drops down the egg. Miracle just pops the same Liquid. They're trying to retreat, but they cannot pinpoint for out of there. Mickey drives down his ground against Mike Control. Tiger's rolling away. To stop Nigma taking their set of rounds, top rounds down, 25 minutes in.
Rock it on.
Mike Control, they are low. I mean, Tiger might get some kills off the back of this. Locked down, keeping the magnetize going. He gets Kuro. Mike Control as well. He's going for Miracle on the high ground. There's going to be a buyback from Tiger. Miracle, of course, still with that Aegis, so they'll have to go for it twice, but there's no Weehaw or Mind Control to help them out. Tiger, the angle, boxes, so they find the duel, they get the Aegis. Can they do it the second time? Looks like they're not going to chance it.
And it's up.
So a little bit of action there for Liquid. Kind of sort of the only
Jackpot.
kind of fight that they've managed to get something out of in this whole game. Of course, damage still very much done with that top lane taken completely away from them. And again, even with those kills, nothing really
Dire's
to do
middle
about it.
tower.
They scanned him. They know Mickey is here.
Got him. Kuro's in. He's actually going to stand his ground. Yeah, that will lose his life. Even with the enrage, unlikely to be able to TP out. I'm considered a man right click that Miracle's doing right now.
Yeah, Liquid actually played that fight really well. They went on the Medusa with the Earth Spirit just to silence him so that the Medusa wouldn't be able to protect his teammates with the Stone Gaze. But even then, like, they're just down by 2,000 going into that fight, and even more afterwards. You just can't overcome this differential.
Dire's bottom tower be under attack.
Fight. Looks like they're gonna play it out though. I respect that.
Always worth to take the final extra minutes, give you more time to think about what you're going to do coming into game 3.
Give the enemy team a chance to throw, but it's hard to throw with Medusa. You kind of just
Dire's
stand
bottom
there.
tower be under attack.
Hitting things. Similar to the last game, though, right? Both teams had a hero that just becomes unkillable. Becomes really good. It's really impossible to play the game. Like, no matter, you know, Kyle talked about the skill level of people is all equal when they're stunned. I would say it also looks about equal when
Dire's
there's a hero
bottom
you just
barracks
can't
be
kill.
under
So
attack.
there's so many abilities you land.
Dire's
just
bottom
doesn't
barracks have fallen. Dire's bottom barracks have fallen.
Able to take these buildings with no answer from Liquid.
Burrow even went to drums, so that speed wasn't enough. Just give me another 45.
Right, starting up the defense. Mickey's in the beginning, on top of mind control. To start onto the bear from mind control. DPC out. The animate. They're able to take him down. Miracle stepping back across. He'll go down. It's a die back on Boxy. Quite but trying to run in a Miracle. But he's also unable to do the damage the Miracle has. Mickey has the evade and the BKB. It doesn't matter. Miracle takes him out. Deuce of 35 to 9. 26k lead here. That's 29 minutes lead.
Dire's middle range